I had a lot of trouble uploading my last video. Every once in a while, I'll have one that has some audio problems that don't show up until the video's already uploaded. I re-edited, re-rendered, and re-uploaded the last video 3 times, and finally I just gave up. All right, everybody, so it's been a long night for me. I just uploaded my last video. I rendered it 3 times, and all 3 times it had an audio problem. I tried. I finally just gave up. I haven't been to bed yet. Me and June Pup, we've been out in the back shop, camped out. No sleep for me today, at least not for a little while. I've been out here in the shop working on the 55 a little bit. I've been putting this CVF kit together, just making sure I've got everything I need. There are a handful of things that are missing that we've either lost or we've scavenged to make repairs on something else. I don't know, but I've got the missing parts ordered and they're on their way. I've got a couple other little problems here with the 55. The 8-inch stock externally balanced harmonic balancer, it rubs the factory engine mounts a little bit. I think I'm just going to go to Jegs and see if they make a smaller externally balanced harmonic balancer that I can put on here that will clear the factory small block front motor mounts. I bought a new distributor. It's a ready-to-run billet distributor. It does not require an ignition box. I just want this car to be nice and simple, clean, uncluttered. I don't need anything extra. I just need power steering, power brakes, and air conditioning, and a good running carburetor, and I'll be happy. Oh yeah, and a TKX 5-speed with overdrive. That helps. So, me and June Pup here, we're pretty hungry. We've been up all night, and I've decided that me and June are going to go get some breakfast this morning and go down to the lake and just watch the sunrise down there so I can decompress a little bit, because I'm a little bit stressed out. I'm a little bit frustrated, but I'm trying to stay positive. As fall rolls in here in Ohio, this is the first frost of the season. We got a little frost on the pumpkin this morning, baby. Yeah. Uncle Bob has always said the only way that I will ever see the sunrise is if I haven't been to bed yet. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of truth in that statement. Typically, I'm doing good to get 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night. I do my best to film and rough edit everything as much as I can throughout the day, and then try to fine-tune the editing and do voiceovers in the middle of the night. Typically, that's the only time of day where my phone isn't ringing with text messages and emails coming through that I need to respond to. So every once in a while, something simple like going down to the lake and having breakfast with June Pup and watching the sun come up can be really therapeutic. Sometimes when I feel like I'm getting stressed out, I'll intentionally try to change directions and try to find a way to relax. When you're consistently running on 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and extremely hard to stay awake for another 16 to 18 hours and try to stay sharp enough to stay ahead of everything and film and edit, plus get your work done. In order to do this for a living, you've got to love it. Because if you consider this just your job, it's easy to lose sight of what's important or how thankful I am to not be in the rat race every morning headed to town to go to work. Although I put in a lot more hours now than I did when I was doing excavating, what I'm doing now feels much more rewarding. Because on YouTube, hundreds of thousands of people get to enjoy my work rather than just each individual customer when I was doing excavating. I came to this realization out on that pier Friday morning. By the time I made it back to the house, I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Something about watching that sun come up over the lake and not being caught up in traffic headed to town made me realize how insignificant my problems are in the grand scheme of things. I had planned on trying to stay awake and continue working throughout the day, but I just couldn't make it. I thought I would lay down and just take a nap for a couple hours, and then woke up about 5 hours later. I got up, took a shower, got shaved, and went out to check on Wyatt and Vicky in the office. Wyatt was just about ready to go down for an afternoon nap as I was getting ready to head back out to the shop. All right, guys, I'm back out here. I got a little bit of rest, got myself shaved, feeling a little bit better. I found a few things this morning that I need to get addressed before we put this serpentine drive kit on. One, the master cylinder and the brake booster linkage is not hooked up to the brake pedal. I got to get that addressed. Also, all the grommets are missing out of the firewall from where we had the body cleaned and sandblasted and the firewall painted. So I need to get the wiring harness grommets and also the seal for the clutch linkage. The clutch linkage is not hooked up. The cross shaft is here. I found it, but I need to get it installed. Obviously, I need to change this harmonic balancer. Jegs sells one from ATI that's 7 inches in diameter, and I think I'm going to go pick that up this morning. I called into Uncle Terry and had him bring it in to the 11th Avenue store. So I know Jegs has restoration supplies, but I don't know if they carry like all the grommets and stuff for the firewall. But if they do, I want to get that stuff. So yeah, just, you know, getting started. It takes a little while to get things primed and get things moving, but I'm starting to figure out everything that I need to do and the order in which I need to do them. And it's always something. So anyway, I'm gonna fire up the Malibu out here. We're gonna run into Jegs, go see Uncle Terry, pick up some stuff for the 55. With fall finally creeping in here in central Ohio, there's not going to be too many more days left before the snow starts to fly and salt is on the road. So I don't intend to waste any days like this. In my opinion, September and October here in central Ohio are the 2 most beautiful months of weather out of the entire year. But November and December will be here before we know it. And that'll be the end of driving any of these cars until next summer unless we head down south. How's Uncle Terry today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Not too bad.
Good.
Weather's nice out there.
Oh, it's ungodly nice. It is such an, and you can stay this way till March.
Yes, that would be wonderful, but it won't.
It won't. No.
Did you see the new t-shirts I got put
Yes,
up on
sir.
the website?
Oh man, they are awesome. They are awesome. That is such cool. The 55 shirt's really, really cool. That Team Jegs one with cross flags.
Yeah.
It's Team. It's really cool. I saw the Jeg Performance actually comment.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So I got some more stuff coming out. I got a Malibu design coming out here in just a second, but
Nice.
yeah, we're still working on them.
That's cool. I'm sure I will start getting big calls about it now since it's official. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we kicked it off last night. We went live for a few minutes, and it's just been hectic with everything we got going on, but
Oh yeah, sure.
we're getting it.
Yeah. It's going to be a great deal.
Well, I got to run back home and start working on this 55. I got to get this balancer put on. I got motor mounts to get situated, and I just got a lot to get done.
Yeah, but before the SEMA, what is not SEMA, but
PRI.
Yeah, PRI. It's going to be Melling's booth, right?
Yep.
Be cool.
That's the idea. We'll see if we make it.
You had your Malibu in there in the Melling's booth a couple years ago.
It was in the Nitrous Express booth.
Nitrous Express.
Yeah. Billy's 55 has been in the Melling booth. The S10's been in the Melling booth.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year it's my 55.
Yeah.
Or my mom and dad's 55.
Mom and dad's 55. That thing's beautiful. I mean, the House Pros did such a great job on that car.
They did. Oh, that, by the way, can you get me those grommets for the firewall where the wiring harness comes through and the clutch pedal linkage comes through?
Yes, sir.
I know you guys have restoration parts
Yes,
here,
sir.
but I didn't know if you stock that stuff or you can get it.
Yeah, I think I had to get it for 55, because I just checked for another guy, and I'd have get them for you, but a couple days. We'll
Okay.
take one.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get that stuff in so I can
do
get
it.
that stuff taken care
Do
of.
it. Yeah.
After my trip into downtown Columbus to visit Uncle Terry at Jegs, I turned and burned back to the house to get busy in the shop working on the 55. The first thing I wanted to accomplish was pulling the 8-inch stock harmonic balancer off the front of the engine. And this is where I run into my next problem. When I went to pull a wrench out of the toolbox, I realized that I don't have as many wrenches in my wrench drawer as I used to. So I went to the closest place that I could think of to go get some tools. I was worried when I pulled in the parking lot that they weren't even open. Well, I'm glad you're not too busy today.
No, if high state games on, it dries up after that.
Oh, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a thing in Buckeye Lake.
Well, I need to get some tools because I don't have any tools.
You have what?
Very little. I don't have a crescent wrench one in my toolbox, in a trailer, or in my shop. I don't have any Torx, I don't even want to talk about it.
No.
My brother was supposed to come down and help me work on the 55, and he never showed up. I think
Okay.
he's up at the farm running beans. And then I asked Kenny to help me with some stuff on it, and Kenny didn't do that because he said Bucko said don't touch it till I'm there.
Oh,
Well, Bucko
my
never
God.
showed up.
What?
So the two of them just stand there and point fingers at each other,
So
and nothing gets done.
so they both put their heads together and not a damn thing got done.
That's pretty much it,
No.
yes. I managed to dig up enough tools down at Mark's shop to get the harmonic balancer pulled off the engine and the new one installed. I used a little bit of emery cloth to take about 1/2 thousandths out of the inside diameter of the balancer, and with a little bit of lubricant on the snout of the crank, it pressed right on without any problems. But then I quickly realized I've got another problem to work through. All right, guys, so not a real productive day today for me. This doesn't fit. I did get the new harmonic balancer put on. That went on no problem. Tommy helped me for a few minutes and helped me get this driver's side engine mount installed. So that's all good. But when I went to put the fuel pump on, the fuel pump hits the frame. I turned it and clocked it, and I thought it was going to clear, but it didn't. So I guess I'll have to take this thing back and run a stock fuel pump, which is fine. I don't care, but it just sucks. I did get the power brake booster hooked to the brake pedal. I also did manage to get the clutch linkage hooked up and the shifter attached to the transmission, so now it won't roll away from me, you know. At least that way, if we go to move it on and off a trailer, I can use the clutch to slow it down because it doesn't have any brakes. Anyway, just not my best day today. Oh, I remember one other thing I did find wrong. The harmonic balancer uses coarse thread pulley bolts, and the bolts that came with the CVF kit are fine thread. So I've got those bolts set out over there. I need to try and find some bolts tomorrow. See what else? I don't know. I'm sure there'll be something else tomorrow that sneaks up on me, but I'm getting closer. I'm staying positive, and I'm hoping for a better day tomorrow. So this brings us to Sunday morning and my next trip into Jegs to retrieve parts. I drove Vicky's El Camino in here this morning to hopefully retrieve a fuel pump that will fit. Thankfully, I found one that appears will work, and while I was in downtown Columbus, I had a helper show up at the shop. Now, unfortunately, this project is starting to take off in the middle of harvest season, which just happens to be probably the most inconvenient time for buckwheat. So I was shocked when I pulled in the driveway to see his fire truck parked next to the garage. Well, 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 look who it is. Jeremy Bean Blossom. Did you get all your beans done?
I got one load. The mill's closed.
How much have you gotten done up there?
I got one load loaded and the mill closed.
Oh, all right, so how many acres?
Oh,
How much of the front field?
just in front of the house. Say about 10 acres.
Have you hauled any loads to the mill yet?
No.
So the load's on the truck.
Yeah.
So the load's in the building, I hope.
No, it's out in the sunlight right now.
Oh, good grief. Well, make sure you get that put inside before it rains, if it does rain.
I already checked. It's not supposed to rain until next week.
Oh, well.
I should be picking like crazy, but they're closed for some reason. That's the first time I've ever seen that before, but
Well, I've been making slow, very slow
I noticed.
progress. So I didn't realize that when the body got put back on, the steering column got hooked up, but the brake pedal wasn't attached to the master. The clutch wasn't hooked up. So I worked on that yesterday. I got all that taken care of.
How did you get in there where the clutch is?
Don't you worry about it.
Oh, that's why it's on the lift. That's how you got under there to get to the clutch lever.
Well, of course, it's on the lift. Why would I do anything else but put it on the lift?
Do you know where it is where when I created that linkage?
I don't even want to hear your bull. I finally got the new balancer on it after $600 trip to Harbor Freight. I don't even have any crescent wrenches anymore.
That's good.
No, it's not good because I used to have crescent wrenches.
We're not working on farm equipment.
I went and got a couple nice crescent wrenches from Chump Hole, but he didn't have everything I needed. So I ended up going to Harbor Freight. I spent $600 there. I come back here and then I go to put my tools away and I can't even put my tools away. The 6 points are mixed with the 12 points. The standards are mixed with the metrics. What are you looking at me like that for? I spent almost all day yesterday reorganizing my tools. I'm back in a position now where I can start to work on things myself. And evidently that's what I'm going to have to do. Because you told Kenny, don't touch it until you showed up.
I did not. I said, do not touch that Don't even look at it.
He told me you told him don't touch it until I'm there, and you never showed up. It was a week.
That was...
No.
You can pull the pulleys on, you can do whatever you want to the engine, just stay away from that point of the fire.
Since the mill's closed today, Buckwheat's off bean duty for at least a few hours. So he came down to the shop and helped me finish putting the fuel pump on, and then helped me put the CVF kit on the front of the engine. Now, I was supposed to take this car down to the upholstery shop tomorrow morning, but as of Sunday evening, this car is nowhere near ready to go down there. Not only am I running out of time to get the car to the upholstery shop, but we're running out of time to even enjoy the car before the weather here in Ohio turns to crap. In fact, this is the last weekend for racing at our local track, Durana Raceway. Ultimately, we're just trying to get this car ready to go to PRI, but I'd really like to drive it at least once before we take it. So we've got the vast majority of the CVF kit installed. We're at a stopping point because somehow we've lost a bolt. The lower alternator bolt is missing. I have no idea where that went. I'm sure it was in the kit, but it is not in the kit now. And the lower bolts for the lower pulley, the crank pulley, I couldn't get those at Jegs today. They didn't have any long enough, so I'm gonna have to go get a set of those probably at Phoenix Rose, a local hardware bolt dealer. We still need to do the power steering lines. I've got to get those redone. We've still got to plumb the fuel lines to the fuel pump, which we did get on today, thank God, and it does fit. So I'm really happy about that. We've still got to wire the car, and that's a big deal. The wiring harness is in pretty bad shape, and I'm considering just going to like American Auto Wire or something like that and just replacing the harness because it is in pretty bad shape. Like, this is the original wiring harness to the car, and it's got some chafes and some bad spots in it that I don't know. I feel like we should just go ahead and do that now while we've got the car apart. So I'm going to look into that a little bit tonight. Look into it on the internet, and tomorrow I'll go to Phoenix Rose and try and get these fasteners, and we still need to get the AC box mounted up underneath the dash. I want to get that done before it goes to the upholstery shop. Now, I was supposed to take it to the upholstery shop tomorrow, but I'm running behind. So I'm going to go visit those guys tomorrow and just check in with them and give them the news, and hopefully they're not upset with me because this has been an ordeal, to say the least. Monday morning, I had a growing list of errands to run, the first being a trip down to Callis Custom Upholstery to check in with them and break the news to them that the car isn't anywhere near ready to come down yet. But thankfully, it turns out they weren't quite ready for the car to come down yet anyway. Well, I got bad news. I'm running behind.
Oh, that's okay. We got time, really, because we're getting slow started on it. We're just getting the seats. So we're getting ready to put the covers on the seats. So still got a few more days before we actually need it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Until we get the headline, I really don't need the car.
Okay.
It's really just taken away from you for no reason. So.
All right. Well, I'm going to go run some errands. I got to get down to Phoenix Rose and get some bolts that we got missing.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for Phoenix Rose.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
Well, that makes me feel better. I was a little worried they were going to be upset when I didn't have that car ready to come down here today. So let's go down to Phoenix Rose and see if we can't find these fasteners we need, and I can get back to the shop in a better mood than I have been in a while. I get really anxious when people are expecting me to be someplace and do something at a certain time, and I know I'm not going to make it. I don't like that. It was a huge weight off my shoulders when they told me they didn't need the car yet anyway.
Starting route to Phoenix Rose Fasteners.
So I left Buckeye Lake headed east on 40, down to 13 to head north, up towards Newark to Phoenix Rose Fasteners. I've been past this place at least 1,000 times over my lifetime, but this is the first time I've actually been down here to pick up any hardware. My brother and the guys down at the upholstery shop swear by this place, and it certainly didn't take me long to figure out why. If there's anything that you need, hardware, fasteners, from key stock all the way down to drill bits, any drill bit and almost any size of bolt and nuts. They keep everything here from special trailer fasteners to Allen bolts and everything in between, and will even stock bolt bins in your shop. They brought out the fasteners I needed in just a few minutes, and I was ready to hit the road. I couldn't stay for very long because I needed to get back to my shop to meet up with a young man that's been working at the machine shop helping Bob, and he's going to work for me a couple of days while Bob's on vacation. Well, you're going to be a new addition to the channel here shortly. So you've been helping Bob up at the machine shop.
Yes, I have.
And Bob's on vacation. He's where? He's down in South Carolina?
Yeah, one of the Carolinas.
Gavin just recently started working for Bob up at the machine shop, and while Bob's on vacation, he offered to come down and help me try to make some headway on the 55 and help me film while I'm working on the car. Using the hardware that I picked up this morning at Phoenix Rose, I went ahead and finished installing the CVF kit, and then Gavin finished it up for me by putting thread locker on all the bolts. Now that we've finally finished installing the serpentine kit, we can turn our attention to the power steering system. Since the new pump on the CVF kit requires AN fittings, we needed to go down to A1 and have Mark either make all new lines or cut our lines off and crimp the new fitting onto our existing hose. And so I decided to bring Gavin with me to introduce him to everybody at the store. Welcome to A1 Auto Parts. You're about to experience this from a different perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Mark was a little too busy when we got there.
Go get him,
So I told Gavin while we're down here at Buckeye Lake, I'd take him to lunch so we could sit down and talk a little bit and get to know each other. Bob's told me a little bit about Gavin, that he's a good kid and he's a good worker, but I personally have only spoken to Gavin for about 2 minutes at the wedding at Bob's house just a few weeks ago. Welcome to Pizza Cottage. As we sat at Pizza Cottage having lunch, Gavin started bringing up some pictures on his phone and explaining to me all the ins and outs of road course racing, BMWs, and the metric system. So as you can imagine, Gavin and I could not possibly be more polar opposites. So I'm sure it's going to be interesting for us to work together in my shop on carbureted small block Chevys with push rods and fractions. Lots of fractions. I was here a little while ago and you were a little busy.
A little bit.
The one guy looked at me like I was an ICE agent. He was hiding behind the counter back here.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
So I need this line redone.
Yes. Yeah.
I need a -6 AN fitting, 90 degree on one end of it.
Oh.
But,
Oh.
yeah.
Which end?
Whoops. So I need a 90 degree female AN number 6 end
Yes.
put on this end.
Okay. On this end.
Do you have one?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah. Are we going to reuse this hose?
Yeah, I think we can.
Oh, we can? Okay. Well, good, because yeah, that'll be good.
We all followed Mark back into the back of the shop where the hose crimper is, and I figured now would be a perfect time to introduce him to my new helper, Gavin. So I got a new helper. He's
What?
not permanent.
This guy?
Yeah.
Semi-permanent. Real.
He's the guy that's been helping Bob up at the machine shop.
Oh,
His name's Gavin,
Gavin. All right. Well, nice to meet you, Gavin.
and he's familiar with the
So-
metric system.
Is he really? No, that's a plus.
Not that that's going to help me any, but
No. You'd be no.
Mark quickly got me fixed up with the proper hose end and crimped it on my hose. All right,
Look at that.
I've been marked
You've been marked.
in more ways than one.
Now you can get back to work.
We walked up to the front counter and he started rounding up everything else I needed, and that's when his help started talking to my new help about going on vacation. How in the does he have enough money to go on vacation? He don't work enough.
Well, it ain't happened yet, so I think he might be thinking he's going to go, but whether it happens or not might be two different things. So that's the week I get my surgery done. So
You're taking off on vacation when he's trying to get his hip replaced?
I called this in when I got back last year.
Last year, Alex went on a trip with his family to a place he can't wait to return
There's
to.
my dad, there's my brother, there's me.
Oh my Lord. Evidently, Alex went to Weber Valley Speedway. Where in the heck were you when you got that picture taken? Weber Valley Speedway?
I was at a party.
Weber Valley Speedway is unlike any speedway you have ever seen.
Here he comes off of 4 again. Mike Marlar keeping it about 3 feet over the racing surface. Prop turning 2,700 RPM, and he's still the leader with a 13.4 last time by.
Holy hard crash! Back away from the fence!
Let's just say that the racing at Weber Valley is a little different than what you're probably used to seeing.
Turn 4! Martinez still out! Oh my lord!
Cows, they're on the racetrack. What in the world? They're hitting them.
Miss Bernie getting the shove from old number 23. She's picking up your knee.
Obviously, this kind of racing was intriguing to Gavin. He'd never seen anything like that in the metric system. How are you going to deal with all these fractions?
You just kind of have to deal with them. You just gotta have to start working with them. I'm still trying to figure out whether the 30 seconds goes before the quarter and then the half. Or
We'll work on it.
We'll
Okay?
work on it.
We'll
I'm
work
trying
on
to get there.
We're gonna need that to break him in a little bit. So.
Well, I'm working on him with the fractions. He's a metric system kind of guy.
Okay, well, there's conversion charts. He'll be all right.
Gavin and I went straight back to the shop and got busy working on the 55. All right, so we've got the power steering line on. Now we can start working on fuel lines and making a line from the pump to the carburetor and from the pump back to the tank. Start mocking this stuff up and see what fittings we need. And probably another trip to Jegs tomorrow, I would imagine. The power steering reservoir is on its way from CVF. It should be here tomorrow according to our tracking. So, yeah. We're really starting to make progress. Gavin and I started mocking up fuel lines and trying to figure out where we're going to mount the fuel filter on the 55 and run the fuel lines back to the tank. While Gavin was working on his fractions up in the front shop, I went back to check in on Vicky and see how she's doing in the office with Mr. Pookie, my new shipping coordinator. How's my shipping manager doing?
Head of shipping is checked in.
More? What's he want?
A marker, but I really don't want him to have a permanent marker.
Well, how's he going to do shipping without a marker? He's got to have a marker, Grandma.
Drink break.
So, guys, I'm out here editing, and I'm having a little bit of trouble. My editing software is doing this crap again where the videos are having audio problems, and I found a way to get around it. It's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit frustrating. Okay, it's a lot frustrating. However, bear with me. This video was going to be almost an hour long, and I'm going to have to cut it off here because the editing software that I'm using on my phone is making it difficult. And I'm going to have to just cut this thing off and start the next video on the next video. I apologize. I'm working through it. I'm going to have to start editing on a laptop, or I got to figure out something. But what I'm doing, I'm pushing the limits of my iPhone. Bear with me.